What is the true function of parasites? That's what we're going to do. We're going to cover parasites in this video. Now, there is a lot of mind tricks when it comes to parasites. There's a lot of lies, falsehoods. But in this video, we are going to uncover the truth. You cannot and will not and will never receive parasites from raw meat or raw cheese or raw milk or raw chicken or raw fish. There is no evidence that shows that parasites are contagious, are transmissible. It's backed by absolutely nothing. There's no scientific evidence, no studies showing that the parasite can go from the food, and then when you eat the food, then it's spreading through you. That's not making any sense at all. This is just something that the Rockefellers, well, their actual name, by the way, is the Rockenfelders. That's their real name. They changed it to Rockefeller. They bought up the medical system and they wanted to make everybody afraid of natural foods, natural herbs, natural ways to hydrate, natural ways being in the sun. They wanted to make everybody scared of this. Now, when it comes to parasites, they wanted to stop people from eating raw meat, a primal diet, raw meat, raw milk, raw honey. They wanted to stop people from eating this diet and switch them over to the stoves. And guess who came out with the stoves? The Rockefellers. And guess who came out with the cast iron pan? The Rockefellers. And guess who came out with Coca-Cola? You know, and it goes on and on and on like the same thing. And guess who are the biggest funder of these? Yeah, it's the Rockefellers. The true function of parasites, first of all, they are created in your body. That's a fact. They are created inside your body. You don't catch them from anyone or anything or any food or any drink. You don't catch them. That's the first thing that you need to know, that they are created inside your body. The second thing that you need to know is that they are your friend. They are not attacking you. They're not going to eat you up. If they were going to do that, the human race, the Homo sapiens, they would be gone a long time ago. Yeah, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be around anymore. Parasites' job is to eat toxins, eat chemicals, eat poisons, eat heavy metals. That's what it is. When you go through a period in your life, like 90% of the population in the world right now is going through where they eat food that's so high in additives, fast food, junk food, fried food, you know, food that's been fried in sesame oil, rapeseed oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil. It's basically plastic. Like, people are just eating plastic. They eat out of plastic Tupperware. They warm their food in a microwave, and they, you know, cook their food in an oven. And what I'm trying to say is that people are over consuming, being overexposed to so many different toxins, including alcohol and cigarettes. These are all forms of heavy metal poisoning. Now, the body's going to go through a stage. Eventually, it's going to hit a wall where you are loaded with heavy metals. The parasites come in and they eat the metals. That's exactly what they do. They eat the chemicals, the toxins, the poisons, the metals, the plastics, the polymers. They help you detox them. They eat them and protect your body and stop all that metal from traveling in areas to major organs and traveling it to your brain and going through the blood-brain barrier. You know, that's what these do as well. You know, that's what these do. They load your body with heavy metals, with plastics, with polymers, with, you know, synthetic, pharmaceutical and medical rubbish, garbage, absolute nonsense. That's what they've got in there, you know. And that's another really important thing to talk about parasites. They work to destroy and neutralize and excrete those toxins. That's what they do. Another thing that we have to talk about when it comes to parasites is that there was a doctor called Dr. Pottinger. This is a really important thing to bring up. Dr. Pottinger fed generations of cats, 40 years, generations of cats, raw meat, raw milk, raw eggs, and what he found out is that not only were they reversing their age and they were getting healthier, and every generation was getting stronger and stronger and stronger, you know, and over the 40 years, what he realized was, after multiple blood tests and urine tests and feces tests and stuff like that, when the cats, I don't know if he did dogs, but he did cats. He did multiple cats and stuff, and they were eating all this raw food, the raw eggs, raw meat, raw milk, and none of them had a parasite. Argenis von der Planets did multiple studies on cats and dogs and fed them raw meat, raw milk, raw eggs, raw dairy, and none of them, absolutely none of them, zero, accumulated parasites. Parasites are not even transmissible. They're not even transmissible. They can't even travel from food into your body. That's just because your body breaks them down. That's the beautiful thing about your body. It completely breaks them down. And another important thing, okay, that you have to understand is, when you eat the food raw, when you consume it raw, when you eat meat, red meat raw, 99%, let's just say if you've bought raw meat from a store, okay, like a conventional supermarket, I won't name them, but you've bought it from a conventional supermarket and it's probably not grass-fed or anything like that, and it's probably got lots of toxins and rubbish in it. 99% of those metals, if you eat it raw, are just going to pass through your body. They're going to completely pass through your body because your body's going to break it down. You're going to break it down properly. The only time that the metals are released are when you cook the meat. You know, that's the only time when the metals are released. When you cook the meat, or you cook the tuna, or you cook the fish, or you cook the chicken, you know, and then when the metals are released, the metals go into your body, and then the parasites they come to eat the metals, they come to eat the plastics, they come to eat the toxins, and the parasites and the bacteria and the virus, they are all created inside the body, and they all work together as a powerful team. You know what I mean? And the fungus, they all work together as a team, and they neutralize the toxins, and they eat the metals, and they eat the chemicals and the poisons, and they keep you healthy and keep you alive, because people who have got a heavy metal overload, they're not well enough to digest on their own. So not only are the parasites eating all those, protecting them, but they are pre-digesting the food for you because they're not well enough to digest on their own. Yeah, and there are multiple studies where people can look into parasite accumulation because of a heavy metal overload. There's actually a study on PubMed that talks about that. You know, it's been taken off. It's been, you know, they've deleted it off their website, but it was on there. And other studies showing how parasites are located in sharks, and foxes are eating the, you know, the heavy amounts of metals that they're accumulating in the body. They're finding this out about animals. They already knew this ages ago, though, especially when it comes to Pottinger's work with cats and Jonis's work with cats and dogs. You know, they both proved that parasites are not transmissible and the role of them, you know, and the medical industry has known this for a very, very long time, you know. So the reason that I wanted to make this video was just so people know you don't have to be afraid of parasites. They're not transmissible. You're not going to catch them. They're not jumping all over, you know, and they are not out to get you. They're not out to eat you up. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next time.